Hey guys, this is kind of gonna be my first video on basically on YouTube. I'm planning on kind of maybe doing some gaming news, like trying to figure out, and talk about some of these things that are going on in gaming, and just with these gaming companies in general, and just things like that. I haven't quite thought about how to go about doing this whole channel thing. Yeah, this is kind of like an introduction video. So the whole thing with Sony, right? I know it's probably been covered to death at this point, probably about uh their whole shutting down the PS3 store, and eventually they're talking about moving away from physical discs, and just all that, um the whole thing is just kind of like it's kind of a slap in the face, honestly, to everyone who's ever supported Sony. Honestly, it's been, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's been decent in the past. Sony has been a good company before. They've made some good decisions. They've tried to help, they've tried to stay up there and everything. But it just seems that all these gaming companies now are just kind of shooting themselves in the foot. If I'm being honest, like they're doing things that basically nobody wants and nobody like asked for, and things that no one should be asking for. Just all this kind of things, like they're just not making the right decisions. Just aren't. Um and it kind of gets old after a while. Because when I don't remember when, a little while back, Microsoft had their the whole thing with Game Pass being really expensive, like 30 bucks a month, and for Ultimate, that is. Like, there was cheaper plans, but, like, no one was willing to pay $30 a month, especially considering it used to be, like, $10, I'm pretty sure, back, a while ago. It was, like, $10 a month, or it was, and then they had the trials where you could start it for, like, a dollar. I don't really know if they still do that stuff, if you can, like, start a trial for a dollar for a month. I seriously doubt they're doing that, considering how kind of the state of gaming is right now. Um, because yeah, it's like it's kind of up to the indie developers, and I would say kind of like Steam for you know for the future, because Steam, like Gabe Newell is kind of like the father of gaming at this point. Like, we just had the by the time I'm recording this, we recently had the summer sale. And you could find some good games for like $8, and they were normally like 70 or 65, or just, things like that. They were going for cheaper. But it seems like now, with Sony and everything, they're trying to they're trying to get rid of like the player base. It seems like they're not making the right decisions. They're sitting here talking about, getting rid of the discs, shutting down the PS3 store, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, there is the target audience for the PS3 store. There is. Not everyone, even who owns a PS3, uses the store, because it's been kind of in a very weird and kind of unusable state. Um, Considering you have to go online, and you can't just like add money to your account right then and there. You have to do it from a different device. So, I mean, it's kind of, in a way, it's forgotten about by some people. I'm not gonna say most or anything, because there's probably is still people that use the PS3 store. Um, but I mean, I myself am always I've modded my PlayStation 3. I've done all those kinds of things. I really enjoy my PS3. And I mean, I have physical media and everything. I have discs. I have ways of, getting games online. And there's just, for me, there's not really a need, but I could see how for some people it would be kind of like a life or death, I guess. Because PS3, don't get me wrong, they still have some really, really good titles on that system that are stuck there. Think like Uncharted, or no, not Uncharted. Well, yeah, some of the Uncharted games, yeah. The one I was thinking of was Infamous and Infamous 2. Those are stuck there. I mean, there's some really old but good Call of Duty games that are still stuck on the PS3. I mean, I wouldn't say stuck because they still have them on Steam, but there's still quite a bit of a player base on those consoles and on those titles. So it's like, I don't know, and it's just the whole thing. It's like if I don't know, it's just there's a target audience for everything, and they're kind of not only being like, hey, let's go get rid of this from for generations on, or at least for this generation of console. But then I guess what I think was wrong was, they announced on Twitter when they announced all this, it was basically like, hey, yeah, we might not do discs anymore. Also, to your older generations of users that are still using the PS3, well, bad news for you too. Well, no more store. So it's like I feel like from a business perspective and for this perspective of or the sake of all your customers, if you're going to make these big decisions that affect one group of people and another group of people, you should do them separately. So now it's like, here's the new gen consoles and the new gen players. They not only have to deal with in the future not having physical media, but now if you want to go back to your PS3, then and they don't encourage modding or anything. And if you want to go back to that, then it's like you are kind of screwed there too. Honestly, like there's nothing you can really do about it because they're just gonna shut it down. And so, it feels like kind of like they should have done it differently than the way they did it. Um, I mean, let's be honest here. The PS3 and 360, they've had their day. They have like the 360's got all its store shut down. I think some of its servers too, but or at least the store servers. But I mean, inevitably PS3 was coming, right? But still, it's not really like an excuse for Sony's actions and the way that they did it. Because the way they did it, I feel, was not right. Because no matter what platform you're on, it doesn't look very bright. Because it like if I just had a PS3, well, I actually do just have a PS3, not a PS5. But if I was one of those people who was thinking about buying a PS5 after being on PS3 for this long, and they're saying, "Oh yeah, no more physical media, this or that, blah blah blah," then it's like, okay, well, I liked my PS3, I still do like my PS3, but now it's like I don't feel like upgrading because I don't feel like sitting here and dealing with all that. And I mean, the crazy thing is, it's coming from a company that literally, physical media literally gave them the company they have today. Because back in the old days, they had the Sony Walkman, they had like all these different like devices. They had the PS1, which was revolutionary for the time, and they released that because um them and Sony and Nintendo couldn't collaborate and make a disk drive for the SNES. So they just said, you know what, optical media is the way to go. So we're gonna switch. We're gonna make our own company. We're gonna make our own console. And then all these years later, we're going back to everything, and now they're trying to phase out the one thing that gave them the place where they are today. Gave them the you know I guess you could say the crown. Um, not saying they're the best company ever. I'm just saying they were able to work their way up from physical media, and now they're just dropping it like it's nothing. It's almost like, hey, yeah, I have a friend who got me, that who got me through all these hard times in my life, and I was really struggling, and I'm appreciative of that friend. And then one day it comes along, and you're just like, well, I'm gonna not hang out with that friend anymore. I don't really feel like hanging out with him because I have another friend that's a little better. It's like that. It's like, that's what they got started because of physical media, and now they're just abandoning the thing that got them started. And it truly is a sad thing to see. It's just I don't know, it's just kind of it's rubbing a lot of people the wrong way. They have people basically going out and deleting or unsubscribing from PlayStation Plus in order to protest a little bit and be like, hey, we don't support this. And apparently Sony's been quietly giving them 50% discounts, kind of just in the inbox in their inbox and hoping they won't notice. But yeah, it's kind of a whole thing. I've seen all these companies, like there's memes about it now. It's like all these companies are just shooting themselves in the foot or like killing themselves. And they're wondering why, like, they're wondering why they're not doing as good. And it's because they're self-sabotaging. It's like no one's asking for this stuff. No one's telling you to do this stuff. You're literally just self-sabotaging yourself and then wondering, "Oh, why is this happening? Why is everyone mad at me now?" And it's like we never wanted the things that you're doing. And it's all just about money, and it's just everyone's getting tired of getting their pockets ran from these big companies. And so it just really doesn't help. No one wants to go out and spend 70 bucks on a new game. No one wants to, because and that's the state of gaming as it is. You buy a $70 game and you play it for a little bit, and then you realize, oh, this isn't as, there's not as much content as they said there was going to be. This isn't the game they said it was going to be. Like, so they just, you know, they either like return it, or, the companies, they'll come out with patches later or this or that. And it's just like, it's just all could be avoided if they would just do their job, do what game companies are supposed to do and make a good game. Because if you can't make a good game, then why are you even trying? Besides the money, like it's always about money with these companies, and it's just hard for people to keep coughing up money if they're unsure about the quality of their product that they're receiving. So yeah, that's kind of my take on it, and I hope this was an entertaining first video. I don't know. I might be doing more videos, kind of covering some things, saying my thoughts about gaming news. I'm still kind of getting used to and learning how to go about doing YouTube and making YouTube videos and editing and stuff. So if you guys have any suggestions or anything you want me to cover, or some corrections, maybe even if I had stated something incorrectly, that would be greatly appreciated. Um, but yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will try to keep making more in the future. So, thank you for watching and have a great day.